Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new series on the channel. This is Boomer, your host, and we are in a new mod pack. The pack's called Breakout. It's been out for a little bit, and I give you just a little bit of history. I was not a big fan of modded Minecraft. Now, I started playing probably about 6-7 years ago. I actually got into it because my son was into it. And watching him play Minecraft, it kind of piqued my curiosity. So I got interested and eventually got hooked, like a lot of people do. Now, about 1.5 years or 2 years ago, I was introduced to my first modded version of Minecraft, and good or bad or ugly for whatever reason, it turned out to be a bad experience, and it was Sky Factory 4 to be specific. And it wasn't that Sky Factory was a bad pack. I just wasn't ready for modded. I tried a couple other less demanding, less resourceful, less confusing type of modded versions and never found anything I liked. And so I pretty much had given up on modded. And about 2 or 3 months ago, a friend of mine turned me on to another pack that I looked into briefly. And it looked interesting. I never really got into it yet. But then I decided to try a couple of others and was starting to get a little curious about modded. On the server I used to play, we had it in Slime Fun, and I got playing into that, and that seemed like, hey, you know what? Ooh, scary view. It was kind of fun. And so when that kind of came to an end, and I still have the single player world going, just kind of waiting on the devs to fix stuff, I found this. And I've been playing it for a little bit just to get an idea of what it's like, and it seems pretty cool. So to give a little bit of what I've learned about it so far, and we're going to discover a lot of this stuff new on camera together. Breakout is exactly what you're thinking. You start in a 3x3x3 box, surrounded by wool, wondering, how do I break out of here? And so we're going to complete this quest book together. We're going to complete all the journeys and quests and adventures and learn about the mods. There's not a ton of mods in here compared to a lot of packs. I think there's 102. So instead of taking 25 minutes to load, it takes 7. That's kind of a joke because it once literally took me 20 minutes to load Sky Factory 4. And that's when your world crashes and you're like, screw it, I'm not completing this. This takes me about 90 seconds to load up. So, and we're looking at this quest pack, there's 10 different sections that we're going to go through, and we're going to start obviously with getting started. And so we're going to learn about the predicament that we're in. So let's go ahead and, first we're in prison. So it says, Minecraft worlds to explore and monsters to fight and castles to build. But wait, where the heck am I? So we are in some crazy padded cell. So we're going to prove that, yes, okay, we've read the instructions. Great. Let's move on, right? So, and we've got one other one here. It says, if you've just downloaded an update to Breakout, click the box, make sure our thing's up to date. We're going to detect it and just make sure that everything loads as it should. Okay, awesome. So our first actual task. Well, the prison's only made out of wool, so you think it's easy enough to get out of, right? So let's break out of it. There's only one way we can do this. We've got to start punching wool. Or is there? Actually, did you notice something in my inventory? The more I punch wool, I can collect up to a certain amount of string here. Actually, let me punch it. Because we're going to need a lot of this string as we go forward. Eventually, the wool is going to break because we'll have collected, whoops, a lot. Now, I'm going to store a lot because if you've played Sky Factory 4, you know a lot about strainers. And we're going to need an insane amount of wool to get us through this. Now, just the question does come up. What if I place the wool back down and I hit it with my hand? Do I get more string? Yes. So we can always come back and pound the heck out of wool and get more string later if we need to, because I made the mistake initially of, well, I got a string and then it started breaking the wool, so I started grabbing all the wool. And then when I was playing it, you craft wool into string in regular Minecraft, same thing works here. I started running out of wool. So at least I know I can come back at some point, place wool down, pound the crap out of it, and get a whole lot of string. So we're going to just kind of stop here because we need to start moving through this quest. We're going to start pulling some of this wool out of here to reveal that we're stuck in a wood box. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of nice. And, you know, we're going to get this all cleared out. By the way, I want to just show you here. The pack said, okay, we've got string. Great. We get a rice bread. So we have a little bit of food, right? And now that we've mined 4 wool, we get to get 4 torches. Yay! So guess what? We've got a loaf of bread and we've got 4 torches. Well, so much for an easy escape, right? We're inside of some sort of shipping crate. Well, we got to get out of this, so we have to punch a tree. We've read this. We understand now. We have to punch wood to get to the next thing. So I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I just want to clear a little bit more of this wool out. Because as we start peeling back the layers, we're going to discover more and new things. But it's also going to play into the pack. As we discover more and make it available, more of the mods kick in. Right? Right now, we're not in much of any kind of mod. I mean, yes, hitting the string, which, you know, okay, is great. That's not vanilla. At least as far as I know, it's not. Okay, so we've cleared out the walls. Let's grab all this wool because we know we're going to need it later. Let's get some more light up here. Let's go ahead and clear the floor and the ceiling. And then we'll start talking about punching wood. When I first did it, man, I tell you, you know what? You take damage from punching wood barehanded, if I remember right. And I think we've got some ceiling wool. Yes, we do. All right. So if we need more string, we simply place down a piece of wool, click it with an empty hand repeatedly, and get ourselves an ungodly amount of string. Okay. Now, you and I know if we are in vanilla, we can, anything will start breaking wood. A torch can break wood. My bare hand can break wood. I can grab an egg and break wood. I can't seem to break wood here at all. So let's see what happens. Let's punch it barehanded. It hurts, right? Oh, but guess what? I found one that gave me a stick. What was the quest we just completed? Let's look into it. So by punching that one piece of plank, we got ourselves a stick. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab those bandages just in case we need some healing. And the next one is, well, we need a few sticks. And I don't think beating stone with my bare hands will accomplish anything. It's asking us for flint. So this is actually for the next layer. So before we get to that next layer, go back here a little bit, because we need to make tools to clear out the stone. We're going to need to clear out some of that wood. And look at that. Okay, oh, this one doesn't clear out for whatever reason. All right. So now if I use the stick, because see, remember we found out if we beat wood, it hurts. See, and I'm starting to take damage. So enough of beating it. Now I do get more sticks, but I can also craft more. But if I try to, the stick isn't giving me the wood, right? Nothing I can do seems to be clearing this out. So let's pull our book back up and read this again just to make sure. Beating stone with our bare hands is a bad idea, but what if I use one of these sticks? So where the stone is exposed, if I take sticks to the stone, well, I beat it and it's giving me my flint. So here's another scenario. If I need a lot of flint to get started, I just beat the stone with the stick. Who would have thought I didn't get up today and think, I'm going to go beat a stone with a stick and see what happens? That just doesn't seem like something that we would do today. We've got enough flint to get started. Let's go back to our book, our guidebook, and say, yep, we've completed it. Let's claim some carrot juice. Now we have bread and juice. We've got ourselves a meal, right? We're good to go. So now we need some tools. If I want an axe, kind of it's like a rudimentary hatchet, right? I've got a complete one. So let's figure out how to make a flint axe. Let's come down here, type in flint. Let's find the axe. Flint axe. Yeah, great. Here we go. 2 sticks and a piece of flint. I can do that. Wait a minute. I don't have a crafting table. I should probably make one, except I have no wood. So what am I going to have to do? Luckily, I don't need one yet. This recipe is craftable without a crafting table. Now I can use a flint axe. Look at that. To get wood without taking any further damage. And now we're going to reveal that everything has another layer, right? We've got another layer of stone behind the wood. So I'll tell you, let me clear this out. I'll be right back. All right, so we've cleared away all the wood, and we've discovered our first new object. A nice block of ice stuck in the middle of stone. Just so you guys know, I did change my video settings before. It might have looked dark. It was on moody. Given that I'm trying to let you see what's going on, I actually turned my brightness up all the way. So while I'm personally losing that effect of being, the light doesn't go as far, I'd rather you see what's going on than try to create that mood. So now we have a block of ice, which is great. But let's go back to our guidebook real quick. Now we got some toast. Ooh, I like toast. Toast and orange juice, I think we have, don't we? All right, so what's next? Hey, guess what? We need to create that crafting table. We knew that was coming at some point, right? Well, I got 36 logs, and I think I had 54 planks. I used a couple to make a few more sticks. Now we have our crafting table. So I'll tell you what, let's just plop that down here for a moment. We completed that quest, so let's go see what's our reward. Hey, we get a chest, and we're going to need one of those here soon anyways. We're going to go ahead and make the new crafting station. Here's what's so cool about this one. Is all you have to do is put the crafting workbench through your own individual crafting block here in your inventory. Where up? I didn't pick it up. There we go. So if I go right through here, I craft it right into its own station. Now there's 2 nice things about this. One is that it can pull items directly from a chest if it's right next to it. So if I need to craft a lot of, let's say, the nets that are coming down the line, I can put the string in a chest next to it and pull them right out of there instead of having to get them out of the chest, put them on my inventory, and transfer them to the chest. The other nice thing about the crafting station is once you put items in there, if you need to go back and get something else, they stay in the right spot. They stay right where you leave them. So it's a couple of good benefits there. All right, now we're going to get 2 levels of experience. So here we go. We can see we got nets coming up. Here's the ice. So we need to do something. We need to build a strainer and a strainer base because we're going to start using the water to gain items that we're going to need in game. Now hopefully you guys have all seen so far there's nothing fancy, nothing difficult, a little bit of tedious work, but not that big of a deal because if you've ever played modded, you know a lot of work goes into building your base. So let's build a strainer base and our first survivalist strainer. In order to do that, let's come down here and bring up strainer. All right, so we need our strainer base. So what makes up a strainer base? 4 planks, 2 sticks, a chest, and a trap door. So we have the chest. We need the sticks. So here's what we can do with the strainer base. We simply hit plus. We'll see, can I do it yet? Nope, because I am missing the trap door. If you have everything, you can simply hit plus and it'll move it right in there for you. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put the strainer base in there, create it, pull it out. We're going to go ahead and do 2 right away. Whoops, hit plus first. Up, I need another chest. We'll do this one manually. Oh boy, there we go. Okay, now back to the strainer base. Hit plus, it moves it in, pull it right out. I'm going to see, Where's that loaf of bread? I'm kind of hungry. That's going to give me back 2 levels of health. That's good. Okay. And now the other strainer we need is a Survivalist Strainer. So we need to create 8 sticks and a net. The net is 3 string. Pretty simple. To get the 8 sticks, we're going to go boom pow. Give ourselves 8 more. Right? There we go. Okay, 3 string. Hey, I think we can afford the 3 string right now. So we'll pull out the net. We'll go ahead and do this one manually. Not that that's a really tough thing to craft. Our Survivalist Strainer. And you know what? I think let's go ahead and build. Well, let's do the one for now. We'll hang on to the base. So what'll happen is we've got both created. Hey, we're going to need those slabs for later on down. Less wood we have to break out. So that's great. Just real quick, one thing that if we place 2 blocks of water in a 2x2 opposite of each other, we don't get water sources. So you got to be careful that you don't destroy your water. There is a backup plan where you can get another block of ice if you screw up. Now there are going to be ways to make water down the road. We can detect that we have our 32 string. Okay, now we're going to claim our ice. I need to make a chest real quick. Oh, I already had planks. Didn't need to do that. That's okay. You learn sometimes, right? All right, so let's get our chest going here because I want to put a couple of items away. So we'll put that chest down here, and maybe later I can get to show you what we get to do with that. We'll put the ice in there, we'll put our carrot juice in there, and the flint. I don't think we need to hold all of that, maybe the wool too. The nice thing is when you die, you don't, at least right now, in the beginning, keep inventory seems to be on. Okay, so we're going to use this ice to create a source of food and other materials that we are going to need in this game. First, we're going to put the strainer base down in front of the water, and then we're going to put the strainer in there. So water is going to come, when I break that ice, water will come through. Now, the challenge is it's going to leak through the strainer on all sides. So for the moment, we're going to, whoops, why did I do that? I don't know. Let's try that again. We're going to use the slabs to stop the extra flow. Oh, I just pulled a big boo-boo. There we go. I want it on the front side. Okay. And now we need to get on top so we can break the ice. I have the ice? We do. Here we go. Okay. Water is now flowing over that strainer. Oh, gosh darn it. Vanilla kicking in on you, right? No, you're in a mod pack. You got to remember that, Boomer. Okay. So here's what's happening is we're starting to pull items out. The strainer has 200 uses to start with, and it can collect a number of different items. Here you can see 31% of the time you get 2 stone pebbles, which you can turn into cobblestone and gravel depending on the recipe. You get sticks, you get granite or diorite, andesite pebbles, everybody loves those. Clay, worms, and dried up sugarcane. That's a pretty interesting group. So by getting the worms and the clay, we can actually make a bait pot and use worms as bait to increase what we get and the quality of what we get in a lot of these strainers. So we'll let this run for a little bit. We need to get a bait pot. To do that, we need 3 clay, but to do that, we need to get a furnace, which means we've got to mine stone. So we're going to have to kind of settle with where we're at the moment. Okay, so let's go back to our quest book and just see where we're at. We're close to finishing this first level, right? So we need to get 8 stone pebble and 1 clay. We'll get an extra strainer base and then the efficiency meter. The efficiency meter is simply going to tell us just how well is it running. Well, it's probably going to be a little bit less until we get the clay pot and the bait in there. But it does tell us something very useful in here. It says, in fact, the water seems dense enough that I could set up multiple strainers off of a single source, though they could lose a little bit of efficiency. So if I had 4 of these running, they're not going to be as efficient as one individual one would, but I'm probably going to get more by running it. So ideally, what that thing has told us is that we could put a block of water. Once we can pick this water up, we could theoretically, because water spreads 8 blocks in any one direction, is if we set up enough strainers and enough of the sorters here, of the strainer bases, 1 block of water, if I remember my math right, could cover well over 100 blocks. I could literally set up that many and collect resources that fast, because water goes 8 blocks forward, backward, left, and right, and then it angles going from one direction to another. So when you put all that together, it's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's 45 plus 36, 81 plus 36, so 117 plus 28, so 145 blocks, 1 block of water. If I did my math right, and I hate doing math on camera like that, but 145 blocks, we could set up that many of these things. So we needed 8 stone pebbles. We've got 4. We've got the 1 clay. So once we get 2 more or 8 more, see, math on camera, bad idea. 4 more stone pebbles right here. We can complete that quest. And then from there, we have an emergency fuel option, and that's something nice. And then we're going to talk about cobblestone. A couple of other things have now appeared as well. Getting going. We're going to start really figuring out and getting it together. Storing up, you can see, hey, guess what? We got a chest already, so now we can claim 3 more. So we're kind of working off of multiple quests here at the same time. Some of these other things, we can make garbage bins. We're going to hold off on that a little bit. We can make a better chest, but we don't have iron, so that's got to hold off a little bit. So really, this whole day, drawers, well, yeah, we can make some of those drawers. We don't have a whole lot of stuff to store, so it's not a big deal yet. The same thing, we could do the small storage crates. We're going to hold off until we get some sort of farming together system put together. Right now, I kind of want to advance this one. Oh, you can't put them back in there, that's right. Okay, so that should complete the quest. So let's go back to getting started. We have those, so now we're going to get another strainer base and our efficiency meter. So I want to just show you the efficiency meter on this. So right now, the efficiency is actually 10% greater than had we not have it. Once we get enough stone, we'll make a furnace. We'll smelt up enough clay to make the bait pot, which is a flower pot with a trapdoor on top. And then the worm goes there as bait. And that will help bring stuff in a little bit better and a little bit faster. Okay, so going back to our quest, do we go after the fuel by making a bundle of sticks, which lasts a lot longer, or do we work on getting cobblestone? We don't have the tools yet to make the hammer to bust the stone, so I think instead, well, yeah, I mean, we could bust one with our hand, but when you use sticks individually, they burn very quickly. But if you make a bundle of sticks, they burn a lot longer. So I'll tell you what, let's look at that. Let's just see how many sticks are needed for a bundle. 9. All right, just 4 to complete the quest back. Might not be the most efficient thing to do, but let's go ahead and take our wood for now. That'll give us 9. Actually, give us a whole lot more. I miscounted. I didn't need to do that many. All right. So there's our bundle of sticks. Come back to the pack. Now we have a source of fuel initially for our furnace with a charcoal. All right, now let's talk about getting cobble. So perhaps I can cobble these bits of detritus together. What the heck is detritus? I've never heard of that word. We can use the stone pebbles to make cobblestone. So we need to get 2 of them to give us 12, and with that 12 we can make our first furnace. So let's just look up the recipe for cobblestone, because there is one. All right, cobble, here we go. Okay, we need 8 stone pebble and a clay. So we need to make 2 of those. So we need 16 pebble, 2 clay. We have 8 stone pebbles in our inventory presently, and there's 8 more here. So guess what? We have what we need. Let's go ahead and craft our 2 cobblestone. So we got 2 in the middle. Put that down. And our stone pebbles. Come on. There we go. Wasn't picking up for some reason. There's our 2 cobble. Guess what? We've now made that advancement. We get 12 more cobble. And we can continue doing that to where we can take the stone pebbles and turn it into cobble should we need more. But the next big thing we need is the hammer. So I need to stop being distracted from the central problem of escape. Right? The idea was to get out of here. The pack's called Breakout. We're trying to break out. But we're trying to break the stone and we can't. So instead of worried about getting out, we got to worry about making the right tool. So we need a stone hammer, and we're going to get some pizza out of that. Pizza's pretty good. But let's look up the stone hammer to figure out what do we need to craft this thing, okay? So the stone hammer, real simple. 2 cobble, 2 sticks. I think we can handle that. Let's take 2 of our sticks, and actually I'm going to go ahead and make up a whole lot more, simply because I know how much stone is in this room. And it's going to take a while to bust through it on. I'm probably going to break a couple of those hammers. But honestly, I want the pizza. I'm hungry. So we're going to claim it. And we're getting close to finishing this. I'm going to go ahead and eat some pizza. I'll tell you how. Oh, look at that. It heals up 4 levels of health. We're almost back to fully charged. Awesome. All right. Back to our pack. Next. Break time. Wow. I'm exhausted and hungry, and it's clear breaking out won't be something we can do in a day, so we got to create food. If there's worms in the water, maybe there's tastier forms of life. So we need a new version of the strainer called a Fisherman Strainer. So we need to make a furnace, a bait pot, a Fisherman Strainer, and a cooked fish. We'll get that fish by making the furnace. So I'll tell you what, let's start right there. We know that we need a furnace, except for one silly thing. I'm down to 6 cobble. But we can let the stone pile up. Now, I thought about, well, diorite and granite, no, they won't go together. So we're going to have to wait until we get 12 more stone pebbles. While we're waiting on that, though, let's see if there's anything else in that list we can make. Bait pot, we need the furnace, but maybe let's work on the Fisherman Strainer. That I think we can make. Fisherman Strainer, here we go. So we'll need 8 sugar cane or dried up cane, and we need a net. The net we know is 3 string. That we have tons of. So let's go ahead and grab 3 string. Okay, and we'll make our net. Get in there, number 3. Okay, let's see if we have 8. Well, we have a whopping 2 dried up sugar cane. I'll tell you what, I'll step away for a second. We'll let those go, and then we'll be right back. So we've got our 8 dried up sugar cane. Dun, dun, dun. And we've got our net. So now we've got our Fisherman Strainer, and we've got the strainer base. So we can set that up. In order to do that, though, we have to have a source of running water. So get ready to get wet. We're going to stick that out of the way. We're going to try to fight the current, get our strainer in, and then get the fisherman's net in. And now, did I lose it in the water? I may have. Oh, I want that torch back too, but I thought I had another slab. I guess not. We're going to go ahead and make more, just because we know we're going to use them over time. So let's go ahead and just stop the water leaking. Now this one's going to collect some different stuff. This one does require bait, whereas I apologize if I said it wrong. This one does not. However, this one does. So having the bait in there will allow us to get those items. So we're going to go ahead and make our furnace. I don't know why my trackpad's having issues. Let's go ahead and put in our charcoal. And just because we don't want to waste any of the charcoal, since it's the only one I've got, we'll go ahead and have it cook up 8. And I know I'm going to need to make a couple more anyways. But we'll get the first 3 done. Get that bait going. And then we also need to make a trapdoor. And of course, I only have... no, I've got enough. I got 11. All right. So we're going to make another trapdoor. If I could figure out how to use my pad, everything, whoops, get those out of there. Remember, they stay in there. All right. We have 3. Awesome. Here we go. I want to try to get this done for you here before we got our wrap up. 2 and 3 gives us our flower pot, our trap door, gives us our bait pot. All right. Because you can see right now we've got nothing. So let's put in our bait pot. And I pulled some worms out of the other one. Look at this. We've got worms, baby. This one will run forever and ever and ever. This does not break. So this is one of those things that we will probably run for an awful long time. We may set up multiple ones of these. As this gets going, you're going to start to see we're going to get some pretty valuable stuff out of here. Bone meal being a big one. Crops do grow in this environment, but they're a little bit slower. We're going to get some enchanted books. We're going to get vines, lily pads, and a few other good things. Also, as a food source, we're going to get fish. The only thing we got to make sure is to keep the bait pot in there and keep worms in there. So as this one runs and gives us worms, we're simply going to move the worms over here. Okay. Now this one does die after 200 uses. We have 88 left, so we're probably going to have to make ourselves another strainer. But here's the nice thing. We're getting those sticks that we're going to need to make a lot of our tools, so we don't have to waste all of our wood because we're a ways away from planting a tree. And with that, guys, I think what I'm going to do is get back into this quest book and see where did we finish off. Oh, cool. We're going to be able to shift right click with an empty hand and pick a chest up and move it. And guess what? We get 2 more Survivalist Strainer. So we're going to go ahead and grab those since we know we're going to need them. Voila. So as soon as that one breaks, we've got 2 more ready to go. All right, let's jump back to our quest book real quick. We have 2 things left. Real fast. Up. Can we do that? We got to get 1 fish and get it cooked. Did we get a fish yet? I'd like to see if we could finish this one before we call it a day. Not yet. What's the other one? We got 1 more in here. Making a sieve. Okay. So this gives us a lot of the small little stones and some other minerals. And there'll be a lot of things that we can run through here. So we need to make a, and see it says 2 pages in the upper left. So we got page 1 is an arrowhead indicating that we also have to get 16 gravel, a sieve, and a flint stiffened mesh. Those aren't hard to create. Do we get the fish? We did. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and grab a couple sticks as a fuel source for the moment. So that's all we're cooking. Get those bricks out of there. We'll put those in the chest for now. We're also going to grab the flint. And I think we're going to go ahead and finish these 2. So we've got our cooked fish. Guess what? Break time's done. Let's go back and collect that reward. We got everything done in here. Awesome. Actually, there's nothing else left. We can't do an anvil because, well, we don't have iron yet. But we've got everything in this one done. Yep. Okay. So that leaves us the last. We didn't get a reward for that. That was kind of a bummer. We need to make a sieve, a flint stiffened mesh, and give ourselves 16 cobble. Sorry, gravel. Fastest way that I know of to get gravel is to use the stone pebbles. 42 stone pebbles, though, I think is only going to get us 10. If I remember right, when you put stone pebbles, ooh, we got 46. So we might get 11. into the crafting frame. If I remember right, this gives us gravel by doing a 2x2. Yeah. So there's 11. If we can get a few more, whoops, wrong one. If we can get a few more here, we'll go ahead and finish up. Let's andesite. Let's pull that out of there. I could have just left them in. It's no big deal. And I put a second chest up. Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to get gravel. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and make everything else we need for this and see when we're at, because you do get a lot of it. So we need a basic sieve, 4 planks, 1 log, 2 sticks. We don't have the 2 sticks, so let's grab the 2 sticks. We grab 4, good enough. Okay, so from here, since, whoops, if we right click the crafting station, click on it, we can bring this right into the station. Pull out the sieve. Okay, now we need the flint stiffen mesh. Flint stiffen mesh, it's 6 mesh, or 6 flint, excuse me, and a string mesh. This time we need 9 string. I could have just cut it in half a few times, but why make it easy on yourself when you can make it harder? There's our string mesh. We have plenty of flint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's place these down. Let's put them over here, out of the way. So now we just need 16 gravel. Do we have more stone pebbles? We do. That's 4. That would give us 12. Oh, we are so close. Because if we can complete this, we get 16 more gravel and another chest, which is great. So we simply need 5 more gravel. I've got 4 stone pebbles I can convert. But when that's done, guys, we will actually have completed the getting started quests. Now, don't worry. They all don't go in a half an hour. You're not going to finish this pack in 4 hours, trust me. It's going to get much more intensive, and the further we go, the less information we're going to get. We're going to have to rely on what we've learned, and we've barely even scratched. Like I said, there's 104 mod packs in here. We barely scratched it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up. I'll sit here and play, get the last 16 gravel. Guys, I thank you for watching. Please give me your comments, feedback below if you like the pack so far. Hang in it. There's going to be more stuff developing. We'll get the stone cleared. Next time you see us, we're going to be a little bit further. But as always, when you're playing Minecraft, you've got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.